bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nandagopakumaraya govindaya namo namaha. Nama pankajanabhaya Nama pankajamalile Nama pankajanetraya Namaste pankajangraye. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we'll continue on with Sri Guruvashtakam, written by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, on the glorification of the spiritual master. We will continue with verse 3. Shri Vigrahara Dhananityanana Shringaratanman Dhiramarjanada Yuktasya bhaktamsha niyunjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanamravindam. The spiritual master is always engaged in the temple worship of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. He also engages his disciples in such worship. They dress the deities in beautiful clothes and ornaments, clean their temple, and perform other similar worship for the Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swaminiti Namine. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swaminiti Namine. Nama Acharya Padaya Nitaya Kripa Pradayine Gaurukatha Dhamadaya Nagara Gramatarine. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the keys to open the doors to the spiritual world. This beautiful Ashtakam, written by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, which we sing every morning, and we start off our sadhana by offering our obeisances to the lotus feet of our spiritual master. So today's verse that we are reading is the third one in this glorious Ashtakam, where it's talking about that how the spiritual master, he himself is so uniquely equipped to serve Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. But not only is the spiritual master so beautifully equipped, but he also, his expertise is that he also trains his disciples in a similar fashion, and so that they can follow his footsteps and also continue the same standard of worship. Srila Prabhupada is a beautiful example in this regard. When Srila Prabhupada came here to the West, the first time, it was Malati, Mother Malati. She, found at an old, gift shop. She was walking down the street, and she found a very cute little object. She thought that it was a very beautiful object. She just, actually she stole that, and she just kind of, she just took it and she brought it to Srila Prabhupada. And then as soon as Srila Prabhupada saw that particular, weird-looking object, Prabhupada immediately offered his obeisances. And Srila Prabhupada said, along with this, there should be two more. One should be black and the other should be yellow. And Mother Malati's eyes opened wide. She said, yes, there is. She said, go back to the store and pay for them and then bring them. So then she brought all of them, and Srila Prabhupada kept them in front of his table, and he offered his obeisances to them. And they were none other than Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra, who had come through the hands of Mother Malati. And Srila Prabhupada, he requested Shyamasundar Prabhu to carve similar deities by looking at this small sample. They were very, very small deities. But Srila Prabhupada said, we need big deities of Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. And Shyamasundar Prabhu was a very expert carver, a very expert carpenter. So he told Shyamasundar Prabhu that, can you carve wooden deities similar to this? And Shyamasundar Prabhu agreed, and he started carving, and they were really, really beautiful, Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. And then, we know how Srila Prabhupada had the first Rath Yatra in San Francisco along with them. And then Srila Prabhupada, named San Francisco as New Jagannath Puri. So how Srila Prabhupada, so expertly trained his disciples, in performing worship to Lord Jagannath. Because as a 5-year-old, Srila Prabhupada is very attached to Lord Jagannath since his childhood. And Srila Prabhupada, with the assistance of his father, we all know how Srila Prabhupada would do Rath Yatra in his own little neighborhood. Srila Prabhupada would make a little cart and he would run around in his neighborhood with all the children. He would tell all the mothers to make beautiful offerings for Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. And he would run around in the streets of Kolkata, little, the neighborhood that Srila Prabhupada lived in near Tollygunge. Srila Prabhupada would just, roam around over there. And he would have a little Rath Yatra with the assistance of his father, who would personally carve the chariot for Srila Prabhupada, and they would have a beautiful festival. And years later, the same Srila Prabhupada, he is not only having festival of a great magnitude, Rath Yatra, it was only limited to Jagannath Puri. But Srila Prabhupada, by his devotion, Srila Prabhupada not only spread it to different parts of India, but he brought it outside the shores of India to every Western country. And because of that, Jagannath Rath Yatra is being celebrated in every major city of the world today. That is the position of Srila Prabhupada. Such a great spiritual master, Jagat Guru. He is the Guru of the entire world. Shiksha Guru for all of us. So this is how an Acharya really works, that because he is so expert in rendering these beautiful services to the deities, he can expertly train his disciples also to start worshipping the deity. When Srila Prabhupada established Shalagram worship, Prabhupada established quite late, after a few years, after even Radha Krishna worship was set up. Srila Prabhupada established the worship of Shalagram. And Srila Prabhupada had personally trained His Grace Jananivas Prabhu in Mayapur how to worship Shalagram. And then he instructed Srila Radhanath Maharaj, actually he instructed Kirtanand Maharaj and Radhanath Swami Maharaj in New Vrindavan to worship Shalagram Shila. That was the first place in the US where Shalagram Shila was worshipped. So how Srila Prabhupada so beautifully trained his disciples, and for every little detail, Srila Prabhupada would personally train how to dress the deity, how to put ornaments on the deity, how to worship, in what mood do we worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead when we are on the altar. All these details was expertly taught by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada made a comment one time once he installed Shri Shri Radha and Krishna in one temple, and Srila Prabhupada commented that to the pujaris, he said that dress Srimati Radharani more beautiful than Krishna, and because Krishna is always very attracted to Srimati Radharani, so if you dress Srimati Radharani very attractively, Krishna will never leave your temple. This is a very sweet instruction that how, in what mood we should worship. When we worship Radha and Krishna, we should worship them in the mood of Lakshmi Narayan, with awe and reverence. Not in the mood that, we can't have Vraja Bhakti when we are not qualified for Vraja Bhakti. That is, Raganuga Bhakti, that is spontaneous Bhakti. But we are still following Vaidhi Bhakti, Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. So therefore Srila Prabhupada said that although the deity is of Radha and Krishna, we worship them in the mood of Lakshmi and Narayan, because, that's how we worship them, with awe and reverence. So like this, these different things, were given, personal instructions were given by Srila Prabhupada in order to teach how we should do deity worship. And those standards are, kept till today, and it's maintained till today. It's been enhanced, but the standards are being followed. Srila Prabhupada said that there are two very important things in deity worship. One is discipline, the other is cleanliness. So cleanliness and punctuality, discipline. We have to be sticking to the minute. If Darshanarati is supposed to be at 7, the conch should blow at 7 o'clock. Mangalarti is at 4:30, it should not become 4:31. That's how, punctual, Srila Prabhupada established deity worship as, and cleanliness. You can see in all of our ISKCON centers around the world how beautiful standards of deity worship are maintained. Such beautiful, amazing standards. They are also, because it's based, deity worship is based on these two principles, punctuality and cleanliness. So this is how we, Srila Prabhupada trained us, and now the disciples of Srila Prabhupada are continuing to train us. And it is our duty in this generation to imbibe all of that, the exact teachings of Srila Prabhupada, so that we can also hand it over to the next generations, to the coming generations. So this is something very, very important. One very beautiful, sweet pastime comes to mind. One time Srila Prabhupada instructed one of his disciples to paint, Radha and Krishna. She was very expert she was a very expert painter, and Srila Prabhupada, gave a scene that, yes, like Krishna is standing under the Kadamba tree, and he's playing on his flute, and the gopis are listening, and some of them are getting mesmerized. There's a very beautiful picture. So Prabhupada was instructing to this Mataji how to paint, and he was giving the entire scenario of how to paint this picture. And this Mataji was not able to envision that when Krishna's right foot is over his left foot, and he's standing in the Tribhanga, that how would his dhoti pleats fall in between both the legs? the front pleats, how it would fall. She could not envision it. So then she told this to Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada, guess what he did? Srila Prabhupada always wears, how sannyasis wear the vastra without the back portion going to the back. So Srila Prabhupada, he actually wore a dhoti. He brought a dhoti and he wore it exactly like a dhoti, just like how Krishna would wear. And then Prabhupada stood in Krishna's pose so that Mataji could see in front of her eyes how Krishna would stand and how his dhoti pleats would actually fall. So this is to the detail how Srila Prabhupada trained his disciples in, properly, rendering service to the deity. Drawing Krishna, painting Krishna, is not an ordinary thing. That's why Srila Prabhupada said that these paintings are extraordinary. They are not ordinary at all. They are actually windows to the spiritual world, Srila Prabhupada said. Paintings in our Hare Krishna movement, those of us who have the Krishna art book with us, where we have all the paintings that are done, we can see, that you can literally see that these are actually happening in the spiritual world, and Srila Prabhupada has told it to his disciples in such a way. Srila Prabhupada explained each and every one of those paintings in such a way that the disciple was able to immediately put it down on canvas. And so that was the beauty of Srila Prabhupada's description. How Krishna and Balaram are running in front on the hills in the foothills of Govardhan, and the entire sakhas are running behind them. They are in such jolly mood. That's a scene. It's happening. And that entire vision is available to us because it is a window to the spiritual world. So what is happening in the spiritual world, Srila Prabhupada has given us eyes to see that through these beautiful paintings that Srila Prabhupada personally instructed his disciples to create. It is not something ordinary. It cannot be something ordinary. A mundane artist cannot just, bring Krishna to life. If you see any ISKCON painting, you can immediately make out that, yes, this is an ISKCON painting because it has the touch of Srila Prabhupada in them. It has Srila Prabhupada's vision in them, and that's why you can see that each and every one of these paintings are actually a manifestation of Srila Prabhupada's vision. He is giving us the vision to the spiritual world. He is giving us access to the spiritual world. That is an Acharya. That is a Guru. So this is how the spiritual master trains his disciple in, not only worshipping the deity, but dressing the deity in beautiful clothes and ornaments, cleansing the temple of the deities. Gundicha Marjanam, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu says, in the chapter where it is talked about Gundicha Marjanam, just before Rathayatra, Mahaprabhu talks about this Gundicha Marjanam, that how the devotees were so expert in cleansing the temple of Lord Jagannath. They would clean out even the cracks and corners of the temple. They would just sit and, make it so spotless. And seeing that, Mahaprabhu commented, all of you have done so wonderfully. You have done very beautifully. Now, because you have become expert in this art of cleaning, you should also train others so that they can also become expert like you. So this is what our parampara is all about. That when we learn something, we need to teach others also. Whatever we learn, even if it is 2%, if we have 2% knowledge, let us share that 2% knowledge. Many times when we say preaching or sharing Krishna consciousness is not an option. It is mandatory. just like how we chant 16 rounds, just like how we follow the regulative principles. Similarly, preaching or sharing Krishna consciousness is actually a part of our sadhana, and this has to be inculcated from day one. When the devotee starts practicing, starts chanting, they need to be told the importance of sharing their spirituality. Because once, that's how Srila Prabhupada trained everyone. Srila Prabhupada would say, even Saraswati, who is just a 3-4 year old, she is also qualified to preach. Prabhupada would say, Saraswati, who is Krishna? And Saraswati, in her broken language, she would say, Prabhupada, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Prabhupada would laugh. He would laugh heartily and say, see, Saraswati is a preacher. And Saraswati was the child of Mother Malati. And how fond, Srila Prabhupada was of Saraswati. That he said that age is not a barrier. Any limitation is not a barrier. Sharing our spirituality means that we don't have to be, completely knowledgeable in the Bhagavad Gita. We don't have to be. If we are liking to just come to the temple, we can just share that with someone. We can say, when I go to the temple, I feel very nice. Can you also come? There's nice prasad, nice food, nice, kirtans going on. You will really have fun. I like it. Why don't you come and try? That is also sharing. You don't have to, we have to get out of this mentality that unless we are Bhakti Shastri holders, unless we are initiated, unless we are, practicing Krishna consciousness for certain n number of years, we cannot become preachers. No. Srila Prabhupada said, if we are having 1% of Krishna consciousness in us, share that 1%, then our spirituality will automatically grow. Because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that how we can become dear to Him. Who are dear to Him? Those who are distributing this message, this supreme message of mine. They are the most dear to me. Krishna has declared this. So if we really want the chanting that we are doing, if we want that the services that we are doing to have its maximum effect and a quick effect, then we have to share. And once we share, even our Krishna consciousness multiplies. That is the beauty of spiritual mathematics. Material mathematics is that if I have 10, if I give away 5, then I'm left with only 5. But spiritual mathematics is, if I give away 10, I get another 10. That is Krishna's mercy. That is how mercy works. When we give, we keep getting more. If we just keep accumulating, then only we will be remaining only at 10. It will take a long time to grow that, because it is only up to our effort. We do need Krishna's mercy. Kartik is coming. This is the entire thing, the 2 fingers. How it was short. It is because of our endeavor and Krishna's mercy. So we have to keep endeavoring, and Krishna will then show His mercy. So this is how, Srila Prabhupada, being the expert trainer, because Srila Prabhupada is the perfect Acharya. Acharya means one who leads by his own personal example. So Srila Prabhupada, he could have said, I have now created this entire society. I don't need to, go around and do anything much. It's okay. Now my disciples will take it forward. No, Prabhupada never did that. Prabhupada was always, till his last moment, Srila Prabhupada was translating books. He was translating. It brings tears to the eyes to see what kind of dedication, what kind of a personality is Srila Prabhupada. What kind of personality is Srila Prabhupada? One who is, at the, counting his breath. Srila Prabhupada was almost like Bhishma Dev, he really knew when he can leave his body. That is the glory of a pure devotee. But till the end, Srila Prabhupada was preaching till the end. Srila Prabhupada was in the preaching mode, sharing Krishna consciousness. So that is the legacy that Srila Prabhupada has left behind for us. And Srila Prabhupada is continuing to be amongst us because it is said that a Vaishnava never dies. Vaishnava lives forever in his instructions. We can keep Srila Prabhupada alive amongst us to the extent to which we are following his instructions. As soon as we are deviating from the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, we are missing Srila Prabhupada in our life. But if we can continue to stay, chaste to the words of Srila Prabhupada and to our Guru Vargas, then it is assured that we are, having the personal association of Srila Prabhupada. We are not separated from him whatsoever. We are connected with him spiritually. That is the glory of a pure devotee. And we offer our respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. So we'll move to the next verse, text 4. Chaturvidhashi Bhagavat Prasado Swadvana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangha Kritvaiva Triptim Bhajata Sadaiva Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. The spiritual master is always offering Krishna 4 kinds of delicious food, analyzed as that which is licked, chewed, drunk, and sucked. When the spiritual master sees that the devotees are satisfied by eating Bhagavat Prasad, he is satisfied. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. Very, very glorious verse. Extremely, extremely beautiful verse. This Chaturvidhashri Bhagavat Prasado, Srila Prabhupada, he taught by his own example how we should offer bhoga to Krishna. Chaturvidha, there are 4 kinds, 4 kinds of foodstuff, palatable foodstuffs that can be offered to Krishna. That which can be licked, that which can be chewed, that which can be drunk, and that which can be sucked. So let us think of some foodstuff that can be fitting into this category. Chewed, of course, is any kind of eatable, basically, like fruits, vegetables, sabjis, rice, chapati. All of these items are chewed nicely. The things that can be drank is, of course, milk, fruit juices, water, different kinds of drinks. All of this is to be drank. Licked. What do we lick? Ice cream is licked. Then we also sometimes lick on chutneys, little achar, pickle. We lick on them. We just take a little bit and we just lick on it a little bit, like that. So these are foodstuffs in the category of being licked. How about sucked? When we offer mango to the deities, we suck the seeds, right? Even when we make raw mango chutney, you enjoy sucking that mango seed. So in this way, these 4 different kinds of palatable foodstuff in this category is offered to the deity. And when the spiritual master sees that the devotees are also satisfied by eating Bhagavat Prasad, he becomes satisfied. So the Guru, he actually is offering Krishna these 4 kinds of delicious food. When it comes down as Bhagavat Mahaprasad, the spiritual master becomes very pleased when the disciples and the devotees are accepting that Bhagavad Prasad. So when we offer food to the deity, we actually invite our spiritual master, because the process of deity worship is that we feel that we are not qualified to serve Krishna directly. That is why all services are offered through our spiritual master. So when we are actually offering food to the deity, if we are initiated at the moment, then we use our, we request our spiritual master, and then we also keep our Param Guru, Srila Prabhupada. Both of them, we keep them, we bring them, we have a separate seat for each of them, and then our mood when we are offering this bhoga is that we are requesting the spiritual master to offer the foodstuff to Krishna, because we are not qualified to offer foodstuff directly to Krishna. Therefore, we need to go through the via media of the spiritual master. So therefore, it is said here that the spiritual master is offering Krishna 4 kinds of delicious food. So it's not we who are offering, it is the spiritual master. We are requesting the spiritual master to offer the foodstuff to Krishna. Then when the spiritual master is offering the foodstuff to Krishna, Krishna eats. Srimati Radharani actually, she feeds it to Krishna. And then Krishna eats nicely. Then Srimati Radharani takes the remnants a little bit, and then she passes it down to her servitors. Who are her servitors? Our Guru Parampara Acharyas. So she passes down the Mahaprasad to them, and then it finally comes down to our spiritual master. He honors that prasad, and then it becomes Mahaprasad. So then, when we get, and the mercy, is that whatever we offer, everything stays intact on the plate. Even though everyone has eaten in full stomach, but still the foodstuff that is there, it stays intact on the plate. But now that foodstuff is infused with Krishna Prem. It is infused with Krishna's saliva. It is infused with the saliva of the spiritual masters, of our Guru Vargas. And when we take that Bhagavat Mahaprasad, then why does the spiritual master become happy when we honor that kind of foodstuff? Is because the Bhava Rog, the material disease that we are all inflicted with, that disease can be cured only by taking this Bhagavat Mahaprasad. The foodstuff, when it is infused with Krishna Prem. By taking this kind of foodstuff, it cures our material disease. And therefore, seeing that our material disease is getting cured, such a spiritual master becomes very happy that we are making advancement in our Krishna consciousness. And that becomes very, very pleasing to the spiritual master. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at the disappearance of Srila Haridas Thakur, after, such a heart-wrenching pastime of Haridas Thakur leaving this world, after Sri Mahaprabhu actually took the body, the glorious body of Srila Haridas Thakur, he took it, Mahaprabhu personally carried Haridas Thakur's frail body, and he bathed Haridas Thakur in the ocean waters of Jagannath Puri. And at that moment, after Mahaprabhu bathed Haridas Thakur in the ocean water, at that time Mahaprabhu declared that Aaj theke samudra ek mahatirtha hoilo, which means that from today this ocean has become a mahatirtha. Why? Because the body of Srila Haridas Thakur Nama Acharya has been washed in these waters of the ocean. So, but we need to understand that Mahaprabhu used to take bath in the ocean every day. But that time Mahaprabhu didn't declare that, this ocean has become a tirtha, mahatirtha. He didn't declare that. But that is how dear the devotees are to Krishna. That is how dear the devotees are to Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How dear is Haridas Thakur to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that he declared that the moment he washed the body of Haridas Thakur in the ocean water, Mahaprabhu declared that from today the ocean has become a Mahatirtha. Mahatirtha, not just any Tirtha, a Mahatirtha. So in that sense, actually, it is told by Srila Jayapataka Maharaj, I remember, he says that in that sense, all oceans are connected to each other. Although Mahaprabhu washed the body of Haridas Thakur in the Bay of Bengal, literally, that is the ocean. But, the oceans are all connected, ultimately. They're connected to one another. There's no barricade in between the oceans. They somehow are connected. So whenever we take bath in any ocean around this world, on this planet Earth, we should remember that this is a Mahatirtha, Mahaprabhu's declaration. So that's why whenever we go to any ocean, we always remember this one line of Mahaprabhu, that Aaj theke samudra ek Mahatirtha hoilo. That from today, this ocean has become a Mahatirtha. So we, just like before entering the waters of the Ganges, how we sprinkle the water on our head. So till today, I personally do this, that before entering any ocean body, we always take the water of the ocean and first sprinkle it on our head and then enter the ocean. Because it is Mahatirtha. This is how Mahaprabhu, gave his mercy. So after, Haridas Thakur was bathed in the ocean, then Mahaprabhu brought his body back, and of course he was, given samadhi. Mahaprabhu personally gave him samadhi in the, on the shores of the Mahatirtha ocean. And that samadhi is still there, of Srila Haridas Thakur. Very, very beautiful, beautiful, mesmerizing place in Jagannath Puri. And after the samadhi ceremony was done, Mahaprabhu, he personally organized a huge feast for all the Vaishnavas. And in that particular feast, Mahaprabhu personally served each and every person. It is explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita that each and every person was served 7 times more than how much they can eat. And Mahaprabhu just said one thing, that today all of you should take Akantha Prasad. Akantha means till your throat, not just till your stomach fills, but till your throat you need to take prasad. And Mahaprabhu was personally feeding them. And then Mahaprabhu himself, all the devotees then came together and fed Mahaprabhu also. Mahaprabhu was so much in ecstasy. How he was, getting so much ecstatic when he was personally serving each and every one of the devotees. Each and every Vaishnava, Mahaprabhu went to them and personally served them Jagannath's Mahaprasad. So whenever I personally, sing this particular 4th verse, there are a lot of this particular pastime of Mahaprabhu's, Haridas Nirjas, Leela of Mahaprabhu personally feeding all Vaishnavas, that comes to my mind. Another pastime that comes to my mind is that after Rath Yatra, 1 year, and I believe this pastime happened in San Francisco, but Srila Prabhupada, he personally also fed each and every devotee who had come to attend the Rath Yatra. Prabhupada personally was so happy by the organizing of the Rath Yatra there. He was so happy that Srila Prabhupada, he personally went and served all the devotees. Srila Prabhupada personally did that. And of course, we all know how in the early days of the Bowery, when Srila Prabhupada was at Matchless Gift on 26 2nd Avenue in New York, when the young boys and girls were just starting to come, at that time, Srila Prabhupada would single-handedly cook for each and every one of those people, those young boys and girls. And at that time, Srila Kirtanand Maharaj remembers that there were around 10 or 11 boys and girls who would come. And each of them were, they would eat at least 10 chapatis each. And Srila Prabhupada therefore would have to make minimum 110 chapatis at least. and Prabhupada would do all this by himself, apart from cooking everything else. Just 110 chapatis Prabhupada would do minimum every single time he would have the program. And then after the class, Srila Prabhupada would personally sit and serve all of them. And after eating, these boys and girls would just leave and Srila Prabhupada would clean up after them. And then one day the boys and girls said, Swamiji, you are doing the cleaning. Can we help? And Prabhupada said, yeah, sure. Please come and help. So that is, how whenever I, know the translation that when the spiritual master sees that the devotees are satisfied by eating Bhagavad Mahaprasad, he becomes happy and satisfied. The spiritual master becomes so happy that the devotees are developing taste for, honoring Krishna Prasad, honoring Bhagavad Mahaprasad. I would also like to share one final, meditation that I personally do when I sing this fourth verse is something that I've seen personally is in Mayapur when we have this Kartik Vrata and the last 5 days we do the Bhishma Panchak Vrata. My spiritual master Srila Jayapataka Maharaj, he actually does the Bhishma Panchaka Vrata along with us. When we started this back in 1997, when the Bhishma Panchaka Vrata first started in Mayapur, in 1997 we started it, and at that time I remember there were only around 28 or 29 devotees who were doing this Bhishma Panchaka Vrata along with him. So we would all sit in the Lotus building, corridor behind Srila Prabhupada's room, and we would all honor this prasad together. And I remember very, very clearly that, he would also sit, Jayapataka Maharaj would also sit and take prasad with us. But before he would start taking prasad, when the serving would start, he would be the first person to serve each and every one. He would, take the bucket and the spoon and he would personally serve all the devotees. And then after serving, 2 or 3 times, then he would start honoring prasad. And on the last day, the final day of when we would break our fast on the Ras Purnima day, the last day of Kartik, that day he would, the feast would be with at least, that when we started, it would just be around 100 devotees actually who would come for the feast. So he would personally serve one item at least to each and every devotee who were sitting in the hall. We would do the paran, we would do it in the Gada building Bhavan. We would sit there in the Prasadam hall, and till today, if he is able to be in Mayapur, then what he does even after his stroke, he actually goes around in his wheelchair, he goes around serving. And today, trust me, the devotees who come to Mayapur, they come from worldwide to do this Bhishma Panchaka Vrata in Kartik. And there's at least 2,000 devotees minimum that, do this Vrata every year in Mayapur. Minimum 2,000 devotees, if not more. And he would serve each and every one of those devotees before he would start taking prasad. He does that even till today. So that's something that always, sticks out to my mind whenever I read this, whenever I sing this fourth verse of, Sri Guruvashtakam. I remember Mahaprabhu's pastime of, after Haridas Thakur's departure. And I remember Srila Prabhupada, cooking in the Bowery, feeding all his devotees, Ratha Yatra, feeding all the devotees. And I remember Jayapataka Maharaj, how I have seen him personally do this, Bhishma Panchaka time, Kartik time. And of course, I know there are so many other Guru Vargas, like I know, Srila Radhanath Maharaj, he does that. I know Srila Giriraj Maharaj does that. He personally goes around on his Vyas Puja that we just recently celebrated here in Houston. Maharaj went around and personally served all the devotees. It was so sweet. They don't have to do such amazing, things, but he went around and served all the devotees. It's such a, it's just their mercy, but they're so happy doing it because they see that they become so satisfied when they see devotees honoring Bhagavat Mahaprasad. I've seen Srila Bhakti Maharaj do this in Mayapur, and I'm sure he does it in Ujjain. I've seen him doing it in so many places. In Houston, when Maharaj was here a couple of years ago, he was actually inviting everyone. Generally the trend is that when a Maharaj comes, we generally invite them to our home and, feed them prasad, right? That's not what we generally do. But Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaj, he was actually cooking himself, and he would invite different devotees to come take prasad with him, and he would personally cook. What amazing, Guru Vargas we have, how much mercy they are distributing and how much they are living this particular verse. They are living examples in front of us. So, how each and every one of Srila Prabhupada's disciples are, following the same, mood of Srila Prabhupada. They're doing that. They're carrying on that legacy. And we should also try to carry this legacy on so that, down the line when generations come, they can also follow the same legacy that Srila Prabhupada and Sriman Mahaprabhu have established. So with this, I will end today. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. If there's any questions, comments, or reflections, we can take that now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danat Pranam, all closest to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji. Really, really very beautiful class. Thank you, Mataji, for that. Mataji, I have one question. No.
Yes.
Mataji, two verses. I have two questions. In our house, when deities for me, every time means you are telling cleanliness and punctuality, yes. But yes, how we can maintain? Sometimes it's difficult in the home deity, the punctuality to maintain, because something come, kids are there, and then so many things is come. How we can do, Mataji, for at home deity punctuality?
Very good question. Srila Prabhupada said that at home, the deities take on the mode of our children. In the temple, they are like the king and queen. So in the temple, we cannot do any violation of punctuality. Whether anybody is sick, whether anybody is traveling, the services at the temple cannot stop. It has to go on based on the time. And that's why they are like the king and queen, Prabhupada said. But at home, Krishna takes on the mode of being part of our family member. So, whatever basic standards we can maintain, we should try to maintain basic standards of punctuality, basic standards of cleanliness. Yes, with children, it definitely becomes difficult. Therefore, whatever standard we have, established with our deities, when we have welcomed them, and we keep telling them, now Krishna, please understand this is, and Krishna does. He actually does understand that, we are undergoing this difficulty and that, and he does understand. So at home there are a lot of exceptions that can be done. But yes, following basic standards of cleanliness is very important. We may not be able to dress our deities every day. That's perfectly understandable. Some devotees dress them every Ekadashi. Some devotees dress them every 15 days. Some devotees have the standard that, okay, I'll dress my deities once a week. So, because being grihasthas, it is understandable that we don't have that amount of time, nor do we have that much of... mainly it's the time, because we have got so many other responsibilities. So it might not be possible to do, deity dressing every day, but we need to maintain certain standards, minimum standards at least. So, does that answer your question?
Yes, Mataji. And Mataji, I have now my altar is like I put the separate Guru Maharaj and Parampara. Then Jagannath Gaurita is little high. Means Mataji, we can offer to Guru Maharaj. It will go even though in front this Krishna. I am not putting the prasadam. That is fine. Yes, Mataji.
Yes, that is fine.
Yeah, I am putting in front the Parampara and then it will we offer.
Yes. Yes, that is how it's supposed to be done. Yes.
And also Mataji, I have one more question. When taking the offering, what should we pray something?
While taking the offering, Jananivas Prabhu taught us that we, when we are leaving the offering and going, we request our Guru Maharaj to, of course, offer it to Krishna. And we tell Krishna that, Krishna, please, taste this and put your saliva into this, in this offering, in this bhoga. And then we leave. And then when we come back to release the offering, we just say that, my dear Srila Guru Maharaj, dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Krishna, Radha and Krishna, I hope you have had a wonderful, meal, and I hope you're satisfied. And, please bless us so that we can honor this Mahaprasad that you have given us and we can make spiritual advancement. So with that mood, we try to, release the offering.
Yeah, yes, Mataji, thank you. Sometimes we just take, hari. It happens sometimes. Sometimes try to offer the prayer. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Any more questions?
Hare Krishna, Kalasudha. Madhavi Gopi here.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So one question in the same lines. So when we offer, you are mentioning we have to offer through Guru Vargas. So that's fine. But when we offer directly, I mean, of course, through Guru Varga we request them. And then if we do not offer to our Krishna, Jagannath, whoever we have, how to build that relationship? Like, what I mean is, okay, Krishna, okay, Jagannath, there might be less salt, or, today I did not make achar, so please, still accept it. So, that kind of thing, how can we plead them, when we are not offering, when we are just, only giving to Guru Maharaj?
Very, very good question. Thank you so much, Madhavi, for asking that. Yes, we do. See, the thing is that it's just the etiquette that we feel so unqualified. It's the mood, basically, that we are feeling that we are not directly capable of offering directly to Krishna. Therefore, we are begging our spiritual master that, please, if you can offer to Krishna. And then we can say these same emotions through our spiritual master only directly to Krishna. We can say that. You see, the spiritual master is the transparent via media who connects us to Krishna. It's not that he is coming in between us like an agent or something like that. No. It's just that when we are able to build that relationship with our spiritual master, saying that, my dear spiritual master, please, when you are offering to Krishna, there might be less salt. So please ask Jagannath to adjust. Today I was not able to make the achar. I hope the Lord will not mind. You can say the same thing with the same mood. But, Krishna is more pleased, and he will reciprocate with you, through that media only. He will reciprocate. You will see a much more quicker response, actually. So it's just about, you're communicating the same thing, but when you're speaking it to the spiritual master, that please, just like, I'll give you an example, maybe it might not be so relevant in today's day and age, but if you just go back even to the age of our parents. Like I've seen my parents, when my mother would cook, and if she has to serve her father-in-law, she would actually tell her mother-in-law, she would tell that, this is what I have done, this is what I have done, there may be this much, whatever she has to communicate, she does that. And then she stands at the corner and she sees. And then if, her father-in-law would like something, he would ask her directly, or he would ask the mother-in-law. And then, they would, have that reciprocation in that way, and she would feel completely satisfied. So it's not about having that, it's not impeding our direct connection to Krishna, but it's just that, we are following the etiquette. We are just following that etiquette, and that mood reaches Krishna. It does reach Krishna, and Krishna reciprocates with us. He definitely reciprocates. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And of course, even to tell something directly to Krishna, like how, for example, you said that, today I did not bring, could not make achar, Jagannath, I hope you don't mind. Those things you can even tell him directly also. There's nothing wrong in doing that. It's not that you're superseding your spiritual master, you're stepping over him. It's not in that mood, but it's not that, every time you have to do this through the spiritual master only. It's just about our mood, basically, you can even directly tell Krishna, tell your Jagannath also that, Jagannath, I'm so sorry, today morning this happened, or, this happened here. You definitely can talk to him. There's nothing that, we are not supposed to talk to the deities also, without our spiritual master. It's nothing like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thanks.
Hare Krishna.
Please, thank you so much for wonderful class, Mataji. I have two questions. Sometimes I do Aarati in the morning, Mataji, then I sing Samsara Dava, but when I'm doing in the evening, do we need to sing Kiva Jaya, or we can do Samsara Dava, Mataji, when we are doing in the evening Aarati?
Okay. Evening Aarti is best to be singing Sandhya Aarti. You should sing Kiva Jaya Jaya. Yes. Samsara Dava can be sung only in the morning or in the afternoon. Or in, like late morning if you're singing. There are different ragas in which you can sing, like we discussed last two times we were discussing that, in different tunes. There's a special morning tune. There's a special mid-morning tune. So we should be, if you're singing in different time of the day, but we are not supposed to sing it after afternoon. We should not sing Samsara Dava after afternoon. But in the evening, yes, you should sing Kiva Jaya Jaya, Gaura Arati.
So not like Samsara start, we should not start with Samsara.
No.
And one more thing, Mataji, and sometimes I do so enthusiastic doing all the services, but sometimes I'll be lazy to do. As you said, I change deity dress for every Ekadasi, or sometimes I do once in a month. How we can consistently we can maintain Mataji all these services?
Well, that's a very good question. See, the thing is that when we should, Srila Prabhupada always says that the deity becomes part of our family. So we try our best to meet the standard, and when we welcome them, we actually tell them at that time that these are the minimum things that I will do for you, And sometimes if you're not able to do, it's okay. If you are busy in certain things, like, sometimes if you're traveling or if there are overwhelming services at the temple and you are genuinely not able to find time, it's perfectly all right. But if you have time and if you're not able to do, then that becomes a problem. So yes, we have to, consider our deities like part of our family, and we should take care of them, to the basic minimum standards that we have told them that we will follow. Like when we welcome them, if we say that, okay, we'll be able to give you one aarti, one offering every day, stick to that. We'll be able to change your outfit once a month, stick to that. Start with minimum standards and then work your way up to, increasing them. Don't set very high standards and then not able to follow. Then that becomes a problem. Srila Prabhupada always said, therefore Prabhupada never recommended that, yes, in one shot only we should all start chanting 16 rounds. Prabhupada never said that. Prabhupada said start chanting 1 round, 2 rounds. But once we keep increasing, don't come back. Don't reduce what you're doing. So set some minimum standards and try to stick to that. And once you are comfortable doing that minimum standard, then increase your level of service. Does that make sense?
Perfectly, Mataji. Okay. Yeah, we'll make the standard, but sometimes some other reasons, maybe because of my laziness or whatever it is, I may not do the service, Mataji, but
right.
Yeah, I'll try to maintain. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you. Thank you for your honest questions. Very nice. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Oh, is there somebody?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Oh, okay. Hare Krishna. Yeah, a couple of things. A couple of follow-ups, actually. This samsara Guruvashtakam, certain ragas we shouldn't sing at different times of the day, but at all times of the day it's perfectly fine to simply recite the verses, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just the ragas is restricted, right?
Yes, yes.
Actually, it just occurred to me now to ask you, what is it about, why is it that different ragas are not appropriate at all times of the day? What is it about that?
Okay. This is just about etiquette, nothing else other than that. There is, certain, because all of these bhajans, all of these ashtakams, they are sung in different, these ragas, as we are saying. And the ragas, they are, music also has a different, etiquette that they follow. It's a complete shastra on its own, which is the Sangeeta Shastra. So according to the Sangeeta Shastra, there are different etiquettes of following and, staying chaste to the to the performance of that particular Sangeeta raga, that yes, this particular raga is supposed to be done only in the morning, this particular one in the afternoon, this particular one in the evening. So it's just the etiquette of the Sangeeta, of the music, and it also because based on the raga, it invokes different kinds of moods, moods that are specific to that particular time of the day. So it's a huge science actually, and therefore we abide by that because it kind of nourishes that kind of mood. Like there are some kind of music that when it is sung, it rains, it showers rains. It just, because the demigods become so pleased that, there is rain. There were, during even Maharaja, the Emperor Akbar's time, there are so many, Tansen, this famous singer, it is said that wherever places there would be drought, they would actually invite Tansen to go. And he would sing this particular raga, which would, please the devatas so much that they would pour down rain. So Sangeeta, when it is done in certain way, when we follow the etiquette, when we are those who are really qualified, who can sing according to the proper meters, keeping in different signs of the music, then it can create magic actually. So that's why Srila Prabhupada said that, these different ragas are essential for us to follow, at least these basic etiquettes. If we follow, they will enhance the different moods, when the practitioner sings at different times of the day. That's all it is, nothing else.
Actually, when you were explaining that, something occurred to me that, I think it's like maybe a similar principle that, different times of the day, different gunas are more prominent.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, also, thank you for that. Also, one thing I wasn't clear on is why it is that, we should offer our food through our spiritual master, because, we're not pure in heart, and we're not pure enough to offer Krishna directly. So we go through spiritual master who is pure. But so for that we go through spiritual master, but still we can speak to Krishna directly. Yeah, I'm just not clear as to why, is we should, the etiquette is to do it to the spiritual master, yet we're our impurity is not a factor when it comes to speaking to Krishna directly. Whether in prayer or whether in offering, or explain to Krishna, "Oh, I'm sorry, this bhoga is not up to standard." I know you tried to explain that is about the mood, but that's not clear for me. I'm not clear about what that.
Okay, I will give you an example. Maybe it might help. Say, for example, we are standing in front of the deity taking darshan. That time, how do we do it? We of course look at Krishna starting from the lotus feet. And, when we start our prayers, we actually, even when we start offering our obeisances to Krishna, we start with our Guru Pranam mantra, right? And then we say Prabhupada's Pranam mantra, and then we say Mahaprabhu's Pranam mantra, then we say the Hare Krishna Maha mantra, right? So that's the etiquette. That's just the etiquette. And then once we establish that, then it's okay to perfectly look at Krishna. Once we get up, it's perfectly okay to look at Krishna starting from his lotus feet going upwards and taking darshan of his lotus face and saying, "Krishna, you look so gorgeous today. Look at the way your armlets are. I love the ankle belts that you're wearing today. Look at the design of the outfit that you have. I love the peacock feather, the way it is, 90 degrees, really standing up, So many things, you can say all of that to Krishna, but you've already established your etiquette of not approaching Krishna directly. You see, what happens is when we are making the offering to Krishna, we are already going through the spiritual master, because we are chanting his pranam mantra, we are chanting Prabhupada's pranam mantra, then Namo Mahavadanyaya, Namo Brahmanya Devaya. So over there itself, we are directly never approaching Krishna. We are not just saying Namo Brahmanya Devaya, no? We are always going through our spiritual master, then Prabhupada, then Mahaprabhu, then Krishna. That's the etiquette. So after we do that etiquette, since we've already established that, then it's perfectly all right to, glorify the Supreme Lord. It's perfectly all right. Because we've already established that, yes, we are going through the spiritual master, that we are not, doing anything on our own. That's the main thing, That's why I'm saying that it's actually up to our mood, that, that, yes, I feel qualified, that I don't need my spiritual master. That's not the kind of mood. But we've already established that my spiritual master, I'm nothing without you. I can only approach Krishna through you. I've already established that. And then I'm glorifying Krishna, that I love the flute, the elephant head flute that you're carrying, Krishna, today. It's looking so beautiful on you. There's nothing wrong in saying that when we've already established that Guru is our connection to Krishna. So that's why I'm saying that it is the mood, basically, because we are establishing it while we are offering our obeisances to Radha Kalachanji, Radha Krishna, Radha Nilamadava, like that. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes, it's clear now. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you,
Madam. Also, something you said, there was something you said in your explanation. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. What's so bad about just, all of Krishna's body parts, they're all absolute, they're all equally Krishna. So what's so bad about not starting with his feet and just directly, appreciating his face, for example?
Yeah,
or any other body part, yeah.
Correct. Very good. Very good question. The thing is that we are not at the level of Raganuga Bhakti. We need to accept that. And because we are followers of Vaidhi Bhakti, regulated devotional service. When Srimati Radharani and the gopis, when they look at Krishna, they actually are so deeply madly in love with Krishna. It is explained that whenever Srimati Radharani, if her vision falls on a particular limb of Krishna's body, she can't look at any other limb for that particular Leela, for that particular day. She can't move her eyes from that particular limb. If somehow she just, her eyes get fixed on like the first vision of Krishna that she looks, if she's just looked at Krishna's lotus lips, she can't move her eyes from Krishna's lips that day. She just keeps looking at just that particular limb. She can't go anywhere else. She doesn't see Krishna's eyes. She does not see Krishna's whole body. It's just that one particular limb, one particular part of Krishna's body. That's how deep in love they are with Krishna, Srimati Radharani and the gopis. That's the level that they are in. For us, we are, practicing to be in that platform. We are practicing Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. We are practicing regulated devotional service. So therefore, in the Narada Bhakti Sutra, it is very clearly explained that as sadhakas, what is the etiquette for us to, properly take darshan of the Lord. That we should start from the lotus feet and gradually move upwards. It's a way of giving respect. When we start from the lotus feet, it is a form of giving respect to Krishna. And if you read the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam and the prayers of Queen Kunti, even Kunti Maharani knew this etiquette, that she should first look at the lotus feet of Krishna. But she knew that Krishna would be very embarrassed if she glorifies Krishna's lotus feet first. Because in relation, she is Krishna's aunt. So not to make Krishna feel embarrassed, she actually glorified his holy navel, his lotus navel. Nama Pankaja Nabhaya. So her prayer actually starts from the lotus navel so that Krishna doesn't feel embarrassed, because in relation, she is Krishna's aunt. So that's why she is violating this etiquette of first glorifying Krishna's lotus feet. Very beautifully, Srila Prabhupada has explained this particular point in the purport of that verse. Nama Pankaja Nabhaya. Nama Pankaja Maline. Then she glorifies the lotus garland that Krishna is wearing. Then she glorifies his lotus eyes, Nama Pankaja Netraya. And then she finally glorifies the lotus feet, saying, Namaste Pankajangraye. So this is just the etiquette. That, when we are, giving etiquette and respect, that's why we bow down to the lotus feet. We could have bowed down to any other limb of the body, but we bow down to the lotus feet because it is the way of showing our respect, way of giving respect to the personality whom we are offering obeisances to. So therefore, it is recommended that we should start from the lotus feet and move upwards. So does that answer your question?
I think so. The lotus feet, or feet in general, represents the lowest part of a person's body. So if we bow down to that, it's a way of communicating that we feel subordinate
Exactly.
to the person.
Yes.
You know, because it's
And
like we're showing that we're lower than the lowest part of their body, kind of thing.
Yes, and that, we are serving Krishna. Prabhupada always said that we should serve Krishna with awe and reverence as a servant, in the Dasya Ras, like that.
Mm-hmm.
We should not think that we can serve him in any other rasa other than Dasya. So, with that, basically.
Mm-hmm. And one last quick thing is that deity that Mahalati's husband Shamsundar sculpted, that deity is still around, right?
Oh, yes.
Which temple is it in?
San Francisco. The Berkeley temple.
What do they call that temple there? Do you know? It's
called Berkeley.
It's called what?
Berkeley. B-E-R-K.
Berkeley.
Berkeley.
Oh, okay. So, and Shamsundar did all three, right?
Yes.
Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. And those original deities are at the Berkeley temple.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Before both Mataji spoke, I heard one Prabhu speak. Was there any questions by some Prabhu? I'm sorry.
No, I just saying. You were talking about the raga, so that raga is Malar raga, about the Tansen.
Yes.
And what it is that when you are singing, actually you are praying. It's just not a raga, but you are singing in such a way so you are pleasing the Lord. So that was a thing. Like we think that, oh my God, I'm singing Sansara Dava Namani Loka or this or that. But you're singing for the Lord, not that I am singing. No, not like that. Oh, I am doing arti. No, not like that. I am doing it so that the Lord wants to hear it or Lord likes it. That's why I'm singing that. Then you could say, like why we do not eat pizza right in the morning in a breakfast, or why do we not do something. So then the breakfast is in custom that people eat donut and coffee, or in the evening they have a great meal, or things like that. Dinner is a grand, lunch is just a little bit, things like that. So the same way, to please the Lord, there is a different just like you are mentioning, ragas and raginis, to please the Lord, to sing a particular thing in something like that, yeah. So, but you are pleasing the Lord, not that you are singing in morning, afternoon, evening. No, not like that. Yeah, Hare Krishna. And about this last thing about, you were mentioning about seeing or taking darshan from feet. It is very important that we should like, I mean, we have not really read the entire Srimad Bhagavatam yet, but if we go through it properly, then we'll understand. When we have somebody say like when we are talking about feet, that entire person is there. Like, say like in India we call Prabhuji, can you bring your feet in my place? So when somebody brings their feet in their place, it's just not that feet is going to come, the entire person will come, and that is a nice way to approach the person. And everybody knows the story about Arjuna and Duryodhana, that they both went to Lord Krishna when there was a battle of Mahabharata. They were asking the help of Lord Sri Krishna that please help them out in a battle. One was Duryodhana, he wanted to get the help, and then another was Arjuna, that he wanted to get the help. And when they both went to ask help from Lord Sri Krishna, then first person who came to see Lord is Duryodhana, and when he came, Lord was sleeping, so he went inside where Lord was sleeping, and he sat right next to face. And then later on, Arjuna came, and he sat in nearby his leg or feet, right in, not by the head, but all the way down underneath the feet, then where the Lord was sleeping. And when Krishna woke up from a sleep, of course Krishna doesn't sleep, but when he woke up, he saw Arjuna first, and he was asking, Lord was asking, oh, when did you come, and what do you need, and this and that, and things like that. So Krishna wants to, Lord Krishna wants to, carry up, or you say, be most merciful on a person who takes a shelter of his lotus feet. And so we want to always be a part and particle of his lotus feet, that how can we serve his lotus feet. So that is why we should learn how to worship his lotus feet. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a very nice explanation about his lotus feet. Okay, Hare Krishna, thank you. Dhanvat Pranam.
Krishna, is there any comment or question for Mataji? Mataji, I have one question. You were telling morning 2 tune. Can you sing one time, Mataji? Last time Sri Mataji asked, but I was not very much focused that time.
Oh, I actually the early morning tune is what I've been singing during the class. That is the early morning tune.
Okay.
And the mid-morning tune I've actually already sent to Shamagori Mataji and Preeti Vilasini Mataji. I think she shared it in the group.
Oh, okay, Mataji. I'll ask to
that is, yeah, that is the one that is sung in the mid-morning one.
Oh, okay, Mataji.
I can just sing one verse for you because you're asking. I will just sing one verse. You want the mid-morning one, no?
Mataji, yes.
Okay, it's like this. Samsarada nalalidhaloka Ranaya Karunya Ghana Ghanatvam Praptasya Kalyana Gunanavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. This is the one.
Okay, Mataji. This is in YouTube. I forgot from this name. Yeah, he sang. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Is there any more questions?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna. Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I have heard a different tune from Prabhupada. So Prabhupada's tune is something like this. So Samsara Dava Nalalita Loka Pranaya, like that tune.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm hearing 3 different tunes now. So what
Correct.
tune is
Correct.
when?
Correct. The early morning tune does not change actually. There are 2-3 tunes that are there for mid-morning and the afternoon tunes that can be sung in, like the Prabhupada dhun, which Prabhupada sings very beautifully. That is a morning, during the day kind of tune. So there are, different ragas that it can be sung in during the day. But the early morning tune, there's only one. So you're absolutely right that Prabhupada also has sung it. And it's very, very beautiful tune. And that is a morning tune, like a mid-morning kind of tune.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
And Mataji, when is the latest we can sing that mid-morning tune?
Generally when we have the Vyasa Puja celebrations, it's sung in the at noon, right? That's the time. So during the noon Aarti is the latest that we can sing this, mid-morning tune.
And then there's another tune that's appropriate for evening?
No, actually I'm not sure if there's a tune that's appropriate. I don't know it personally, but I'm not sure if there's a tune that is appropriate for the evening. Because not
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Because in one of the verses, I think it might be even the last verse, it says that we should, recite this 3 times, at least 3 times a day. We should offer our obeisances to the spiritual master.
It talks about Trisandhya, that we should at least 3 times a day I should offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. That we should remember the spiritual master 3 times a day minimum. It's not talking about reciting this entire thing, but just remembering and offer obeisances to the spiritual master. Basically, the way this particular verse is purported is that, it means when we chant our Gayatri also, we remember the spiritual master 3 times, in these 3 different time zones of the day. So at least like that, so chanting Gayatri, chanting the Maha Mantra, offering respects to the spiritual master 3 times a day, that's what it means. Not necessarily reciting this particular Guruvashtakam.
Okay.
Yeah?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.